I'm not threatening you. Say one more word, and that's 30 days. 30 days.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Sovereign Citizens Hall of Fame with your boy TP. Today, we will be courtroom hopping into the courtroom of Judge Nicholas Iarocci out of the state of Ohio. And this is actually going to be a follow-up to a video that I covered not too long ago dealing with a young lady by the name of Amber McKenry. And if you remember who Miss Amber was, we saw that there was a heated back and forth between her and Judge Iarocci. And I only shared one of her proceedings, but there was actually a proceeding before that, and she just recently went to court, and that's why I'm updating this, which was about 2 weeks ago. But get this, the video that I originally shared, the proceeding that I shared, which was her second appearance right after what happened between her and Judge Iarocci, and I'm saying that because I don't want you to I don't want to spill the beans, so to speak. She went on Facebook Live and went on a full rant about the whole situation. So today's video, I'm going to have a little of her first appearance, her second appearance that I previously shared, her Facebook Live rant, and also her final appearance that she had a couple weeks ago. So with that being said, guys, I'm excited to jump into these proceedings, and I know you guys are too. So let's go ahead and jump in.
Take a seat
I have a question.
in this blue chair.
Do I have the
Sit
same,
down.
Do I have the same
You
rights?
want me to hold you in contempt? Sit down. In that blue chair.
Do I have the
Sit
same
down.
rights there?
One more time. Sit down. You are charged with one count of no operator's license, a minor misdemeanor subject to a maximum fine of $150 plus court costs. You also are charged with one count of expired plates, also a minor misdemeanor subject to a maximum fine of $150 in court costs.
I am the authorized agent to the decedent estate. I am coming in here as the settler, and I want to settle this case.
I will enter no plea on your behalf to these charges. I've given you 3 plea options to plead.
No,
Would you
I do not recognize
Well,
anyone in this court.
Okay, well,
I
that's
don't
too bad.
recognize you or the bailiff or anybody else in this court. Then I'm just going to surrender the person to the court because I'm not coming back.
I don't know what that means.
You do know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
I am not the ens legis, non de guerre.
I've been practicing law for 36 years, and what you've just said to me has no meaning to me whatsoever. So let me say it one last time, because we have other cases to handle today. If you don't leave the courtroom and go to the clerk's window and get a trial date, which is what I'm scheduling in this case, I will hold you in contempt of court and I'll have you arrested. You either go to the clerk's window now and get a trial date, or I'll have you taken into custody now. You got it? Court is now on the record in City of Contempt versus Amber McKenry, 24 TRD 819. Ms. McKenry entered no plea to charges of no operator's license and expired plates, each of which is a minor misdemeanor, on December 17th, 2024. I scheduled it for a bench trial for January 8th of 2025. Ms. McKenry was given notice of that bench trial. I have a signed receipt in the file showing she got notice of that bench trial. Present on January 8th, 2025 was the law director along with a police officer. Ms. McKenry failed to appear. As a result of her failure to appear, I issued a warrant for her arrest. That was January 8th. It's now over a month later, February 11th, and Ms. McKenry is now turning herself in on the warrant. She's in the courtroom, and she is without an attorney. Ms. McKenry, why were you not here on January 8th of 2025?
I have a question about the case.
Ms. McKenry, sit down. This is not your courtroom. Sit in that chair.
I have a question about the case. That's not the case number that I had.
Yes, it is, Ms. McKenry. You've got other cases pending that are set for jury trial.
The original case number that I had was like TDR, like 0800 something, and
24 TRD 819.
819. Okay. I was just double checking on the case number. Can you repeat your question then? No.
Why were you not here on January 8th?
I put in an appearance and it was rejected and struck from the record, and I was sent a letter saying that I am not who I said I was. So I have a question about that because I don't understand.
This is not a discussion here. This is not a conversation. I ask a question, you respond to my question. Now, this is typical behavior for you because you're a sovereign citizen. At least you claim to be.
I've never claimed that.
Well, your documentation that you file, including the one you filed today that did not have a correct caption or case number on it, is indicative of that. So let me ask you, Ms. McKenry, again, why were you not physically, personally present in the courtroom on January 8th, 2025 for your trial?
I need the oath and bonds to be put for each person acting as a public official in this case who is acting as a public servant to be put on the record. And I also require the indemnity bond, and I'm going to require the other bonds. I need the accounting. Please, for the record, let it be known that you exited.
I
while
did.
asking.
I exited the courtroom and asked a police officer, probation
who has
officer.
the indemnity bond?
Uh,
Where is the bill of particulars?
The
Because
bond
I
is
did not
being,
receive it.
the warrant is being executed. You're being taken into custody. Take her down to the jail now.
I was not given the warrant.
Take her down to the jail now.
Why am I being arrested?
Take her down
For
to the
what?
jail.
What crime have I committed? Get off me. This is kidnapping. This is a false arrest.
Stop fighting.
No, this is a false arrest.
Okay, relax.
This is kidnapping. They're violating my rights, my constitutional rights. I put in...
I thought the Constitution didn't apply to you.
The Constitution applies to every living man and woman.
Yeah.
You are violating your oath, Mr. Iarocci.
Well, hello everybody. How you doing? So I went to court today for a bench warrant to deal with a bench warrant that was put out for me, allegedly because I didn't make an appearance in court, but I did turn my paperwork in for that. You're allowed to turn in paperwork. You don't have to physically go to court. Paperwork is the same thing as making an appearance. However, they struck it from the record that I made my appearance. They struck the recusal of the judge from the record, and on top of that, they sent me a letter and they stated that I wasn't who I said I was, that I am who they say I am, which when I asked questions about that, the judge yelled at me and told me he didn't have to answer any of my questions. And then when I asked for the bill of particulars and the indemnity bond, I was arrested and taken into custody and held against my will. And so that's a false arrest. But not only was that a false arrest because it's all based on fraud in the first place, but secondly, they didn't read me my rights. I wasn't read my rights by the judge in the court, and I also wasn't read my rights when I was arrested. Also, they did not tell me what my charges were. So there's that. I can't wait to get the paperwork where they tell me what they're charging me with. So this is all because of the right to travel. Okay? It's all based on the right to travel freely, unencumbered, and unfettered according to the Constitution. Now, I'm going to pull up some stuff for you because people need to know what the truth is, and they're not going to really know unless I actually physically show them, because you guys, you're not going to do the research, right? You don't really care. You're just going to tell me I'm crazy, and nothing that I say makes sense. You can replay all of this later because it's alive now, but they hold it up for 30 days, and you can write down all of these things if you want to. There's benchmark cases that all deal with all of this stuff, but we'll start with Ohio Revised Code. I was threatened with retaliation for threatened and retaliated against. They were trying to coerce me into basically doing business with the state of Ohio, which I don't have anything to do with. I'm not a state of Ohio resident, okay? Under section 2905, hold on, let me flip this around. Ohio laws and administrative rules, section 2905.12, coercion. No person with purpose to coerce another into taking or refraining from action concerning which the other person has legal freedom of choice shall do the following: threaten to commit any offense, utter or threaten any calumny against any person, expose or threaten to expose any matter tending to subject any person, or hatred, or contempt, or ridicule, or damage any person's personal or business repute, or to impair any person's credit. Institute or threaten criminal proceedings against any person. Take, withhold, or threaten to take, withhold official action, or cause to threaten to cause official action to be taken or withheld. Okay, so anyways, you guys can read all of that. That's the section you need, because that's what happened to me. I am a non-resident alien, according to 5301.254. Okay, you are a non-resident alien unless you are a U.S. citizen, but I'll get to that in a minute. You have the right to the bill of particulars of your case, which I asked for, and they did not give me. And when I asked for it today, and for the indemnity bond, I was arrested. This is the location of the debtor. This is UCC. Do you know who the debtor is? I do. Hold on. It's this. The United States is located in the District of Columbia. They are the debtor. Any foreign bank registered and licensed by a state, which would be all banks, all courts are banks. The United States business. It's a corporation, a partnership. Also, the United States citizen is a corporation or a partnership with the District of Columbia. That's 15 U.S.C. 4724E. Here you go. 18 U.S.C. 911, citizen of the United States. If you claim willfully and falsely and represent yourself as a citizen of the United States, you are going to be fined and imprisoned, or both. You can only be a citizen of the United States if you are a public servant dealing with the law, so governors, senators, judges, cops. They're all United States citizens. You are not. Under Ohio Revised Code 4507.04, non-resident exemption. Non-residents are permitted to drive upon the highways of their own state without, right here, without. Bam. Wake up. Here you go. So not only do you not have to have a license, according to 28 CFR 29.10, owner withdraw from the program. Owner withdraw from the program. The owner may withdraw from the program. This is for a registration. So you do not have to register your car if you are not engaged in commerce under common law. You don't have to. You can withdraw from the program at any time. It's voluntarily. You have to remove the decal and change the license plate. You cannot have a Ohio State license plate. You have to have your own personal, private license plate. You should go through the Department of Transportation, or you can get your own whatever, or just not even have a plate at all. Just remove it completely. Everybody needs to be doing this. We all need to recognize this. The more people who do this and realize what their rights are, the more rights you have. Right now I'm fighting by myself. Everybody else doesn't have the guts or the balls to do it. I don't know what to tell you. It's not my fault or problem. Here you go. Other things related to the case. Take a screenshot of this. These are the laws, codes, statutes, regulations, case law. I also have the constitutional law in here. But they're doing all of these things unlawfully. Look at that. Right here. Citizens of each state shall be entitled to all privileges and immunities of citizens of the several states, ensuring equal treatment of travelers. You are not a driver, you are a traveler. Affidavit of truth. Affirmation of rights. All of this. Take screenshots. Look these up for yourself. Find it out. This is me doing a public service announcement for all of you. So now more people can start doing it. We need to take down Admiral Maritime Law. It's the law of the dead. I'm not dead, are you? This is my public service announcement for you. I was arrested. My friend was there with me. Her and her friend were with me. They witnessed it. Everybody that was there witnessed it. Say hi, Erica.
No, I look like crap.
But I have witnesses, which they'll be subpoenaed eventually, and they'll be able to confirm that my rights were violated. They didn't read me my rights. They didn't tell me my charges. It's called robbery ashore. It's called piracy. Because they're in Admiral Maritime, and I'm common law. They're pirates. And committing treason. So there's that. So, just an FYI, the government's not your friend, and they're not here for you. You have to know your rights, and you have to exercise them. I'm still learning the policy and procedure part of it, but I know the law.
Okay, the court is on the record in City of Contempt versus Amber McKenry, case number 24 TRD 527. Court is in receipt of a pretrial report. Mr. Lewis.
Thank you, Your Honor. We may have a resolution of the matter, should the court be willing to accept it, whereby the city would dismiss the fictitious plate charge at defendant's cost, and Ms. McKenry would then enter plea of guilty to the two remaining charges of failure to reinstate driving under suspension and expired plates. The city would then recommend whatever fines the court would deem appropriate along with the court costs of the case. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Sayaj.
Thank you, Your Honor. I did convey the offer from Law Director Lewis to my client, Ms. McKenry, after extensive talks and going over what she would be waiving today. She has decided today that she would take the plea offer along with the state's recommendation of just court costs and fines.
Okay, Ms. McHenry, it's my understanding today that you wish to change, you originally entered no plea to charges of failure to reinstate an unclassified misdemeanor and expired plates, a minor misdemeanor. You wish to enter guilty pleas to those two charges in exchange for those guilty pleas of the fourth degree misdemeanor charge of fictitious plates would be dismissed at your cost. Is that what you would like to see happen today?
I believe so.
You understand by pleading guilty to those charges that you would be waiving your right to the jury trial that is currently scheduled at the end of the month, as well as all of your trial rights. We just had a trial last week, so you kind of know what a trial is like. So by pleading guilty to these two charges, you'd be waiving all of those trial rights. Is that what you wish to do?
Would that put an end to litigation?
Yes, it would.
Let me know.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Okay. Also, you are represented by Mr. Sayed. Have you had sufficient time to consult with him, and are you satisfied with his counsel?
Yes.
Okay. I do find that defendant's pleas of guilty to these minor and unclassified misdemeanor offenses in subcase A and B, failure to reinstate and expired plates, to be knowing, voluntary, and intelligent. The court will accept the guilty pleas to those two charges, and I will therefore find her guilty of those offenses. I will dismiss at the defendant's cost the fictitious plates charge in subcase. So Ms. McKenry, I did not impose community work service. I could have. I did not impose a Class 7 license suspension. I could have on the failure to reinstate charge. I've just given you a fine and cost, although I'm ordering you to provide proof of insurance on the vehicle you're driving that day. If you're not able to provide to the clerk proof of insurance on the vehicle you're driving that day, you are subject to what we call a non-compliance suspension with the Bureau of Motor Vehicles. I guess what I'm saying, Ms. Henry, I could have sentenced you in a much more severe way. I did not. But understand that if you're back here with similar offenses and you're found guilty of those, I will impose those. What I didn't do today, I would do at a later time.
Well, guys, we have finally come to the end of these proceedings dealing with Miss Amber McKenry. And as you can see, her first two appearances before Judge Iarocci, a lot of fireworks. This guy, he definitely doesn't play. We see in that second appearance, he got up, walked down some hallway, went and got the sheriff, came back, and she was like, I want to put on the record that you walked away from the bench. And unbeknownst to her, he walked away to go notify the sheriff that, listen, it's time to lock her up. Where you see she went on a Facebook Facebook Live rant immediately after she left the courthouse, because you can see that she still has on the same clothes, and she mentioned that her friend was with her, showed who her friend was, so on and so forth. And in that particular Facebook Live that she did, she said something like, filing paperwork is the same as showing up at court. I mean, it absolutely is not. If you're supposed to make an appearance for court, then you have to make an appearance, right? No matter what kind of paperwork you file, unless you have a lawyer and the lawyer is able to relay that to the judge, and then, they excuse you from missing that appearance. But other than that, you can't submit some type of paper, in your place of being in the courtroom. But nonetheless, finally in that last proceeding, she finally got everything taken care of. And look, how did it get taken care of? Because she finally was allowed a lawyer to sit there and speak for her to get this situation over with. And if you remember from the last time I covered this, she only had a couple of infractions that didn't even lead to jail time, but she did everything in her power to get herself locked up. But thankfully, this thing has been resolved. We see Judge Iarocci. He says, listen, I could have hit you with harsher penalties because of these different infractions that you have, because of the things that you did in the courtroom, but I am not going to do that. And respect to him, because what I understand about being a judge, not because I am a judge, but because of watching these videos, you really have to be somebody that do not take these situations personal. Even when somebody's getting crazy with you, talking crazy with you, acting up in the courtroom, you can't make it personal. And shout out to Judge Iarocci. He was able to do that, but he did let her know, I'm not going to play any games with you. You come back, then I'm going to hit you with these harsher penalties. And it shows us that it takes a lot more than just being hot-headed to be a judge, or just being willing to throw people in jail and throw away the key. That's not, that's why only certain people can be judges. I see the comments. I know you guys just want to lock people up and throw them away, but it doesn't work that way. Like, we all deserve some type of mercy, but he let her know. So if she come back, she can't say anything to him when he hit her in the head. Now, listen, we already had this discussion. But with that being said, guys, thank you for joining me once again here at Sovereign Citizens Hall of Fame. It is always a pleasure to present these videos to you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, everything that will help this channel continue to be successful. And with that being said, this is Sovereign Citizens Court, guys. And for now, Sovereign Citizens Court is adjourned. God bless you guys. See you guys soon.